the constant vilification of the African American male. And you say, why is that? And the core problem, the core answer to that, when I do all my little research and talk to all these people via this television show for many, many years now, is African Americans are a chosen people. Now you have to go, I'm not a theologian, you got to go to the Hebrew Israelites, and you got to go to the followers of Elijah Muhammad, the followers of the true followers of Elijah Muhammad. And they will tell you why we're chosen people. And they also say at some point that African Americans and some of you people who are not African Americans are going to have to leave America because this is going to be destroyed. That sounds crazy, but it's no more that sense of we African Americans will have to leave, or we're going to have to leave America. America's going to be destroyed. We got to get up out of here. That sounds kind of nutty, but it's no more crazy than Jesus coming out of the damn sky, or taking taking up the righteous, the saved, in the twinkling of the eye. You go to be a spirit up in the ethers or something. You know what I'm saying? Come on. It's all sounds nutty. And don't be offended. Okay? Don't be offended. Because you believe what you believe, and it's okay. At a basic level, it really doesn't matter. But I must tell you the truth as I see it. Let's get back to me. Also, when I was a child in the 1970s, I wanted to be a news anchor. Not for Channel 5, not for Channel 7, Eyewitness News, not Channel 9, 32. I wanted to be, I don't think 32 had news, but that's the Fox station now. I wanted to be a news anchor. And I didn't, although I had middle class parents. My dad is from Arkansas, from the South. My mom's from Detroit, Michigan. She went to the best high school, Cass High School, if you know. Cass, well, I don't know what they call it, Cass High School. It was the best high school. It was still a pretty good school. In the 50s, she went there in the 50s. And so I had middle class parents who had master's degrees. So I had this, and they were Christians. They made me and my three brothers go to Sunday school and church and whatnot. Okay, I hated it because I'm a rebellious person by nature. I am a Leo, and I want to be up front. I want to be the center of attention, and I like to question everything. So I hated it because it didn't make sense even as a child. But the good thing about it is that my parents they were good middle class people, had great values. They were great parents. I didn't appreciate them at the time, of course, but I appreciate them now that I'm a parent, because I'm a parent now. Now I have appreciation from parents because I'm a parent. Now I understand. But the point is that I had good parents, middle class parents who were educated and somewhat bougie, if you will. And that's not really, I'm not saying that's bad per se. It's kind of good. I want my children to be bougie, everything I should have been. But I went to the neighborhood school down the street. And a lot of kids came out the neighborhood school, like Wright Elementary School, did quite well. And I didn't, because my parents, they were good parents, and I said this before in a previous show, that they were good parents, but they were focused on their career, getting their master's degrees, and moving up in society. Things were getting better in the 70s, and that kind of stuff. And as for African Americans, and I got caught up in the public schools, and I used to tell my parents, I said, "Mom, Dad, I'm getting ate up. My ass is getting ate up in these public schools." I didn't curse then, of course, but they didn't believe me because they did not attend the Chicago public schools in the 1970s. Okay. My children attend the public schools, and I know it's just as bad, it's probably worse than what it was in the 70s it is now, because right now 60% of all African American boys drop out of high school. And most of the children come out of public schools here in Chicago are not prepared to go to college. Some of the best schools are in Chicago, but there's not enough good schools here in Chicago for the majority of good students who usually come from good parents. And that's the bottom line. I go to public schools all the time. And most of not in all cases, but in most cases, the better students come from better homes and better parents. It sounds cold. I sound like an elitist. I sound pompous and arrogant, but that's just the cold hard truth. Like good parents, let's face it, the good parents ain't watching this show. I mean, the bad parents are not watching this show. The good parents like you are watching this show. The bad parents, they ain't watching the show. We know that. I'm not the best parent. I could be a better parent, but I'm a good parent. And I hope you are too. In fact, if you're watching the show, I know you are too. I think I got maybe 10 more minutes. I want to be a news anchor. I want to be like if you look up go on the websites and click on Walter Jacobson and Bill Curtis. If I got time, I'll bring that picture up. If I ain't got time, just bring up that picture. Just click on Walter Jacobson and Bill Curtis. If I got time, I'll bring that picture up. If I ain't got time, just bring up that picture. Just click on Walter Jacobson and Bill Curtis. My heroes. I've met my heroes. Nice guys, right? And back in the 70s, I wanted to be like Walter Jacobson and Bill Curtis in the Channel 2 newsroom. They were doing the news. I wanted to be a news anchor. And like I tell the students in the public schools, I never became that news anchor because I had bad grades. I had a broken academic spirit. And I eventually dropped out of high school 27 and a half years ago in 1980. And here he is. But like I tell the public school students, although I never became that news anchor, and I say this in my book. I say this in the last chapter of my book, Willie Lynch, Why African Americans Have So Many Issues. Excellent book, I should say.